Blades replacement. When working with the cutter system, care with the sharp parts and do not try to adjust the system with the machine and run mode. Necessary tools: 1 ruler, 5 mm Allen extension, 8 and 11 mm line wrench, 17 and 19 mm socket wrench, torque wrench 10 to 40 foot-per-pound. Step 1. Press the E-stop button, located on the operator panel. Step 2. Remove the cutter cover. Release the bottom screw by using a 8 mm wrench, and remove the top screw by using a 11 mm wrench. Step 3. Remove the rotary blade. Unscrew the 7.5 mm Allen screws, starting from the middle one, and progressing outwards to both ends of the blade. Remove the 7.5 mm Allen screws, and remove the blade. Step 4. Clean the rotary blade area. Clean the seat and clamping surfaces of all foreign matter. Step 5. Install the rotary blade. Insert the new rotary blade, and tighten all screws starting from the middle one, and progressing outwards to the upper and lower edges of the blade. Retighten the screws in the same sequence, using a torque wrench. The recommended torque is 10 foot-per-pound. Step 6. Remove the stationary blade. Unscrew the 4 17mm hex head cup screws on the stationary blade, using a socket wrench. Remove the stationary blade by removing the 4 hex head cup screws and the clamp plate. Step 7. Unscrew the 4 stationary blade aligning set screws. Unscrew the 4 aligning set screws at least 3 full turns, using the 5mm Allen extension. Step 8. Clean the stationary blade area. Clean the seat and clamping surfaces of all foreign matter. Step 9. Align the stationary blade angle. Align the stationary blade angle by measuring the gap between the front and the back edge of the stationary blade shaft. Front and back should have equal distance. Use the 19mm socket wrench to adjust the proper distance. Step 10. Install the stationary blade. Insert the new stationary blade in the clamp. Lightly tight the 4 hex head screws to fix the blade by the clamp plate. It is recommended to replace all the 4 spring washers. Step 11. Make sure that the blades are not touching. Warning: if the blades are touching, will be necessary to loose the 4 hex head set screws. Back up the stationary blade and proceed again with the blade installation. Step 12. Apply initial torque on the stationary blade. Tighten all the 4 hex head cup screws using a torque wrench, about 10 foot/pound. Step 13. Align the stationary blade. Use the 5mm Allen extension wrench to bring the stationary blade close to the rotary blade. Adjust the top and bottom aligning set screws. Caution: this is a very precise setup. Move very little the adjustment set screws, and check after if the blades are touching. Warning: if the blades are touching, will be necessary to loose the 4 hex head set screws. Back up the stationary blade and proceed again with the blade installation. Step 14. Check the label cut. Recommendation: in case you do not have any experience, use a piece of paper to adjust the blades, instead of using a label. Rotate manually the cutter, and check the label cut. On this example, the cutter is not cutting the label on the top. On this case, will be necessary to move very little, the top adjustment set screw. Adjust the bottom screw in case the label is not being cut at the bottom. Step 15. Check the final cut. Check if the label is being cut well at the top of the cutter and at the bottom. Step 16. Apply final torque on the stationary blade. Tighten all 4 hex head cap screws to the torque of 40 foot/pound. Step 17. Check again the label cut. Important: the blades should not be knocking. Warning: if the blades are knocking, will be necessary to loose the 4 hex head set screws, back up the stationary blade and proceed again with the blade installation. Step 18. Lightly tighten the middle adjusting set screws. Lightly tighten the middle adjusting set screws just the necessary to touch the stationary blade. Any additional adjustment can compromise the blade position. Step 19. Install the cutter cover. Install the cutter cover and tighten the bottom screw by using a 8 mm wrench, and the top screw by using a 11 mm wrench. Final note: once the blades are adjusted, the micro adjust dial should not be touched anymore to avoid changing the cut angle. If it's necessary to adjust the cutter time by time, proceed the adjustment using the aligning set screws.